Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful evening wherever you're at. So, okay, I'm just going to be clear with you. I've had now several bad starts trying to get the stream going, but I think we should be okay now. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it now. We're not even going to just mess around. We really just want to get right into it because hopefully, again, we won't have any more issues. But we might be wondering what exactly we're going to be playing today. Well, we're going to be playing again a deck that's based around another one of the characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, join me today in the Brawl format for a nice little casual deck that is based around Jet, Freedom Fighter, and, well, his actual Freedom Fighter team. So, before we get into it, as always, let's talk about the stats of the deck. We'll then cover every single card in there as fast as we can, and then we'll play as many matches as possible in the best of one format for the Brawl format. So, as always, let's go over the stats of the deck. Longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, Freedom Fighters here, a Brawl deck is going to be boros colors of white and red. We're looking at an average mana curve of about 2.5, and we'll be rocking 11 creatures, 21 instants, 14 sorceries, 4 artifacts, 14 enchantments, and 35 lands. Okay, so I'm just trying to honestly just catch up on all the lost time that I feel like I've missed out on due to all the false starts we've had. But it looks like we should be now stable and good to go. So, in order for us to pull this off here, let's actually talk about Jet Freedom Fighter here. So he is an uncommon 5-mana 3/1 human rebel ally. And it says when Jet enters, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature an opponent controls. When Jet dies, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So Jet has 2 main abilities. They're not anything super splashy, but they could do some decent help there. Yo, Infernoman, caught you live. Hello, and thank you again for joining us today, Shadow Boxin. How you doing this evening? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Hello, my dear friends. Thanks again for joining us this evening here. We have Zian, Alamo. How am I doing? Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing this evening? Again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay. So as you guys are pouring in right now, again, we're going to be covering, of course, Jet Freedom Fighter here. So as we kind of see here, Jet wants us to basically go live. So he's basically a really, really expensive spot removal card here. And also, when he dies, he works with +1/+1 counters. So that's kind of like what we're going to be working with here. But think of it this way. While Jet is definitely going to be doing his thing, he doesn't have to be honestly on the field all the time. However, because we want to keep the flavor of this deck alive, you'll notice that when I mentioned the stats, we only have really 11 creatures in the deck. We're actually pretty low to the ground for creatures because most of Jet's main team is how we kind of built this deck. So with Jet Freedom Fighter here, like and sub, we appreciate that, Shadow Boxin. But we're going to be building around, of course, his main team here. So let's actually cover the Freedom Fighter team first, and then we'll cover everything else. So in the 1-drop slot here, we have the Duke Rebel Sentry here, Human Rebel Ally 0/1. He enters with a +1/+1 counter on him. However, you can tap him and remove the counter from the Duke to give that counter to another creature you control, and that creature will gain hexproof until end of turn. So this can be a kind of a nice way if you can put some +1/+1 counters on him. The Duke can be instant speed protection for whatever we need to. So a nice little card there for us. So going into 2-drop slot here, we'll also throw in Freedom Fighter Recruit. Again, not anything splashy here, but its power will be equal to the number of creatures we control. So this card will get stronger and stronger as the game progresses. Going into the 3-drop slot here, we'll also be adding on a couple more of his team here. Treetop Freedom Fighters here, just the catch-all for the whole team here. It is a Human Rebel Ally. It has haste, and when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 count. I'm sorry, create a +1 plate. Wait, words are hard, by the way. Any case, bleh. So when this creature enters, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token. There, I was able to get through that. So with that, you can kind of see here, little by little, we're going to start putting together all of Jet's team here. We'll also have another version of Jet here, Jet Rebel Leader. So this is a mono white Jet that's a Human Rebel Ally. He actually works very uniquely for the deck itself. Sneaky Toilet, good evening, my fire friend. Hello. How are you doing this evening? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So Jet here with this version, you basically dig 5 cards deep out of your library and then put a creature card with a mana value of 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So this Jet, I'll be honest, it doesn't really fit our theme of this deck, but I still want to throw him in for flavor purposes, so that's why he's in the deck. As far as the rest of his team, Jet, of course, has Longshot here, Rebel Bowman. This is actually a pretty good one here. He's a Human Rebel Ally 3/3 with Reach, and non-creature spells you cast will cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Longshot will ping for 2 points of damage. So he's kind of like an expensive, like, what is it, what's the card again? Gutter Snipe, I guess you could say. A little bit expensive though, but it still works pretty well. This casting, being able to cheapen the casting cost of non-creature spells is actually pretty helpful. So not too bad for an uncommon here. We'll throw in, of course, Smeller Bee, Rebel Fighter. Smeller Bee is a human rebel ally with first strike, and it's a 3/3. Other creatures you control have haste, which is awesome, and whenever Smeller Bee attacks, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of attacking creatures. So Smeller Bee, mostly going to be good for combat purposes here, but can still be pretty helpful overall if you just want to start digging through your deck to pull out all of your other stuff. Buggy Wuggy K8Q. Wait, why is there a fire talking? Because that's who I am. Hello, and you're a kid anyway. Well, good evening again. Hello, Buggy Wuggy. How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. But yeah, you're just watching me, this little fireball here that's going to try to play some Magic the Gathering Arena. So thanks again for joining us today. Sneaky Toilet, just woke up from like 30 seconds ago. Hope you're doing well too. I am, thanks again. Honestly, this fireball kind of just got off a long day. So it's kind of been nice now to plop on in and try to get in a little stream at least before I try to get some late night food. So hopefully, again, you guys will stick around for just a little bit longer. Okay, so there you go, everybody. So that's going to be Jet's team here. Wait, I feel like I'm missing someone here. Oh, that's right. Of course, the other member of Jet's team is Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak, Rebel Strong Arm here. 3 mana, 4/4. Pretty good stats, actually. Legendary creature, human rebel ally. However, Pipsqueak cannot attack alone unless he has a +1/+1 counter on him. So you kind of can see like where things are going to go with this. Basically, we want all of Jet's team assembled here, and hopefully we'll then just get a bunch of extra value. In order to get that value, however, we still want to go wide. This is a boros deck, so our main focus is again just to build upon tokens and +1/+1 counters where we can. So that's more or less how the deck is going to be working out. Buggy Wuggy, I don't know how fires talk. Well, now you're going to find out today, because again, this little fireball is going to show you exactly how we do things on this channel. But again, appreciate you popping in, even if you may not have any idea what the heck is going on. Okay, so let's kind of quickly circle around back to the front here. We'll kind of go over again all deck and see how it's going to work. So the whole theme with deck is, the whole theme with Jet here is we want to go wide, so that way we can use his ability, and we want to try to put some +1/+1 counters to pump up his whole team of freedom fighters. So to make sure we can buffer ourselves out for a bit, in the 1-drop slot, a Johnny's Welcome. Every time a creature enters, just gain some life to help us stabilize. Authority of the Consoles also will help us gain some life and make our opponent's creatures enter tapped. So this will help us again buy ourselves some time. Cleric class here also will help us gain some life here. Anytime we gain life at level 2, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control. Level 3, then we start bringing back a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield and gain some more life. So this again is just going to help us all these cards are here to sponge stuff while we take the time to build up our freedom fighters. Guard for Battle here, put some +1/+1 counters on 2 target creatures. We'll also utilize here Helping Hand. Since we don't have that many creatures in the deck, we're going to be utilizing a couple of cards that will help us bring back other members of Jet's team back from the graveyard to the battlefield, just to ensure we can just keep our fight going. Homestead Courage here for more +1/+1 counter shenanigans, giving our creature vigilance till end of turn, and you can flash it back for 1. Honor here puts a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and you just draw a card. Requisition Raid here also plays +1/+1 counters, but with the Spree mechanic, this can also be used as artifact or enchantment hate. Restoration Magic here gives some protection spell to either a spot to one creature, or you can then pump it all the way up if you want to give all of our permanents hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Swords of Plowshare for spot removal here to exile something we don't want to deal with. And Strike It Rich is the last in the 1-drop slot here to help us just ramp out with some tokens with treasures. Going to the 2-drop slot here, we'll utilize here Airbender Ascension here. When this enchantment enters, you airbend away a target creature, i.e. you exile it, and later on, you can then cast that spell for 2 rather than paying its mana cost. In some instances, this might be helpful for us, but ideally, we want to again activate its full ability. Once we get at least 4 more quest counters on this Ascension, then we can start utilizing this to blink stuff back and forth, which may seem a little bit slow, but hear me out for a second here. If we can get enough creatures, we can say, for example, start blinking, for example, Jet here, so we can keep bouncing back and forth. MTG Hillbilly, hello, good evening, my fire friend. How are you doing this evening? Hopefully having a wonderful night wherever you're at. And then speaking of more airbending shenanigans here, we have Airbender's Reversal here. Can destroy a target attacking creature or just airbend away a creature we also don't want to get blown up. Call a Surprise Witness, similar to our Helping Hand here, where we're just going to utilize this to bring back a creature with a mana value of 3 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. Put a flying counter on it and it becomes a spirit. Distinguished Conjurer here. So this is another one of our ways we can just help gain some more life back and forth, and also its secondary ability is perfect for our deck here because for 5 mana, which is a little expensive, this helps us again exile stuff back and forth. Utilize this ideally at instant speed for Jet, so you can make him a little expensive spot removal, but I still think it works well for the deck. You're doing great? Well, that's good to hear, MG Hillbilly. I'm glad you are doing well. Okay, where are we at here? Duty Beyond Death here. So once we start building out our tokens, and I'll explain to you how we're going to build out our token army, we can utilize this to, of course, give all our creatures indestructible until end of turn. However, to use it, you have to sacrifice a creature. By doing so, of course, you can put +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. Computer Takedown here is either a tap land in a pinch or again spot removal, depending on how many creatures we have. Long Road Home here. Another way we can kind of protect our spells here by exiling stuff and then blinking it back and forth. But this also goes well with Jet because, again, he can start doing some more spot removal damage or maybe protect any one of his other members of the team. Recommission here. Another one of our spells that can bring back artifacts or creature cards from our graveyard to the battlefield. Reprieve here just bounces back a spell that maybe our opponent has on the stack, and we can draw a card. So this can help us kind of anticipate something that we don't want to deal with, and then hopefully just make sure we can get around it. Skrelv's Hive. So this is one of our few rares in the deck that's going to help us go wide with tokens here. Although it may seem a little not so heavy flavor-wise on utilizing Phyrexian Mites, they still will provide for us at least something we can use for sacrificing, or we can use it, of course, just to then put some more counters on our opponent, just however we need to just to get our game plan going. Take up the shield here, +1/+1 counter shenanigans again, gives our creature lifelink indestructible until end of turn. Cathartic Power here is either a spot removal card, or again, we can use it to draw and discard cards. We also have here Impact Tremors. So once we start building out our giant army of tokens, we can then use cards like Impact Tremors to start pinging away at our opponent. We'll also utilize here How am I saying this right? Okay, Caught in the Crossfire. Again, words are hard, everybody. Words are hard. But this is basically just one of our low-level wraths that we can use for the deck. 2 damage to each outlaw creature, or 2 damage to each non-outlaw creature. Since the majority of our cards are going to be already rebel allies, we technically can flip this so we can just not hurt our creatures and then make sure that we can just maybe hit outlaws. So it is a little clunky, but I like it for the deck, and it kind of goes at least a little on theme with things. Boros Signet here, again, it's going to be one of our mana rocks. Legion Leadership here can double the power of a creature and gave it first strike, so maybe Jet or any one of his freedom fighters can then hit some massive damage, or it could just be a tap land. Boros Charm here, it does either one of 3 things. So 4 damage to a creature, 4 damage, wow, I really cannot say words right now. So I need to slow down. Slow down, Infernoman, slow down. Okay. Okay. So 4 damage to a player or planeswalker, or ideally use this as a protection spell to give all permanents indestructible until end of turn, or give a creature double strike until end of turn. Frontline Rush here, so you can use this to either make some goblin tokens, or just pump up a creature with +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures we control. Rip Apart here is either for artifact, enchantment hate, or just spot removal for a creature or a planeswalker. Arcane Signet, again, we are a multicolor deck, so we're going to utilize some mana rocks like this. And Collector's Vault, one of my favorite cards here, because you can use this to filter through your deck, draw cards, and make some treasure tokens to help just ramp ourselves. We also have in the 3-drop slot here Wear and Tear, so again, more artifact and enchantment hate. Charges the Mites here, either as spot removal, or you can use this to make some tokens. Dewdrop Cure here can bring back a couple of creature cards from our graveyard to the battlefield, and we can, of course, gift a card if we want to do 3 instead of 2. Emergency Eject here, so we have some more stronger spot removal like this can destroy non-land permanents. We give our opponent a lander token, but again, not a big deal for us. We want to make sure we can just get things out of the way. This also works similarly to Stroke of Midnight, again, destroys a non-land permanent and leaves behind a human token for our opponent. We also have here Wedding Announcement, so this will help us again create some more tokens, at least until it flips into an Anthem effect that gives all of our creatures +1/+1. Sneaky Toilets, Smile at Death, Smile at Death Ink might be COD if you have. Buh? I'm so confused as to what you're trying to say there, Sneaky Toilet. Bordy Man, hello, good evening, my fire friend. How are you doing this evening? Hope you're having a wonderful night wherever you're at. Sneaky Toilet, Smile at Death good might be COD here if you have. I think I'm trying to get what you're saying here, but also my brain is a little fried from working earlier today, Sneaky Toilet. But I get what you're trying to say there. Just my brain right now is again completely fried. But again, don't worry, not fried enough for us to play some Magic, of course. Wonderful evening. Well, that's good to hear, Barney Man. Again, that's good to hear. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, we got to get through this quick because I really want to actually get into the gameplay here. So we have Flick a Coin here. Just some basic pinging for us. We can create a treasure token, draw a card. Founding of Omashu here, so create some more ally creature tokens. We could discard a card at part 2, and then part 3, give all of our creatures +1/+0 until end of turn. Goblin Surprise here, use this to either make some tokens, or you can utilize this to pump up our whole team for +2/+0, and this works just similarly to also you see a pair of goblins. Does the exact same thing, just 2 cards for we can throw into the deck. We have Improvised Weaponry here, so spot removal of 2 damage to any target, but we can also use this to create a treasure token to again help us with ramping. We have Sundering Eruption here for destroying a target land, or you can just use it again as a land in a pinch itself. We'll have also Hook Swords. Again, it's not a strong card, but for flavor purposes, this is actually Jet's weapon in the show, so we had to throw this in here at least for just one moment. We also going to utilize here Gloria, the Great Armorer here, a Spider Human hero from the Spider-Man set, but actually works really well with our deck here. Anytime a modified creature we control deals combat damage, we can exile the top card of our library, we can play that card, but ideally, anytime we do attack, put a +1/+1 counter on the attacking creature. So this can be great for us to give any one of our select creatures some more pump. Once we start going wide with our tokens, we will take advantage of cards like War Leader's Call here and Windcrag Siege. So with Windcrag Siege, you're mostly going to always want to pick Jeskai. The reason for that is, at the beginning of your upkeep, you'll create a Goblin token and it gains lifelink and haste to help us stabilize. With War Leader's Call, gives all of our creatures +1/+1, and whenever a creature we control enters, we can ping our opponent for 1. So this can slowly, with both cards, give us a nice little easy way of just doing more and more damage. Sneaky Toilet. Okay, thanks for clarifying there. The Smile at Death enchantment. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing together. Wow, I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but thanks for clarifying. Appreciate that. But I take it back because you are doing a lot of tokens. Not as many creatures per se. That is true though. The reason why I kind of want to stick with tokens with Jet is the original idea for this deck was I wanted to actually see if I can make a gimmicky deck that utilizing only his actual team as the actual creatures. And the rest of the cards were going to be just kind of like control cards that kind of just maintain control of the battlefield while we try to build up Jet's actual freedom fighters. In theory, the deck kind of worked, but also was a little too janky. So I threw in a little bit of extra creatures, just a handful more to provide a little extra support. Mostly creatures, for example, like I mentioned, Distinguished Conjurer here, because these cards actually go pretty well with what Jet's trying to do here with life gain, and also the blinking shenanigans that we can utilize to protect his team. So that's the reason why we're going mostly with tokens on him. Also because, well, Jet's actual ability wants you to go wide. All right, so wrapping up here in the 4-drop slot, we have Late to Dinner here. This is, again, one of our another ways we can just bring back a creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield, make a food token. We'll also throw in here the Cave of Two Lovers. We create some more ally creature tokens. We could dig out a mountain or a cave, put it into our hand, and we get to Earthbend for 3. Trove of Temptation here. So similar again, some of these cards may seem a little clunky, but some of them do provide a decent amount of value, but also a little bit of flavor purpose. So Trove of Temptation here just helps us again because Jet wants to be aggro with his deck, and we can help create some treasure tokens that we can utilize for the deck. We have Heroic Reinforcements. Again, this is mostly flavor purposes, but also creates for us some tokens that we can use. And until end of turn, we get to give all of our creatures +1/+1 and haste. We'll throw in Outlaw's Merriment here. So 4 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, you could pick one. Obviously, I forgot. Wait, we can't pick one for this. This is actually a random card. So it kind of goes chaotic with the deck. So you can either make a Human Warrior, you can make a Human Cleric, or you can make a Human Rogue. Either one of these humans will then just provide more go-wide options for us. In the 5-drop slot, we'll have Pinnacle Monk, so we can bounce back from our graveyard to our hand here, an instant or sorcery, or again, it's a land. And then finally, on the top end of the curve, Assemble the Legion. So a Boros enchantment for 5 mana. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a muster counter on this enchantment, and then you create one red and white soldier creature token for each muster counter on this enchantment. Sneaky Toilet, Elspeth Stormslayer. Oh, that's right. That one, actually, we're going to stick into the upgraded deck. So kind of glad you brought that up. But don't worry. We'll be covering, of course, a much more stronger version of Jet once we're done here. And we'll throw in, of course, a couple of cards that I realized even after I finished the upgrades. I kind of missed a couple of key cards that maybe we probably should put in. But again, we'll talk about that once we're done with the base version here. Anyways, going over the budget mana base here, again, it's pretty much what you're going to expect. A lot of tap lands and some basics. 15 plains, 8 mountains with Abraded Bluffs, Alpine Meadow, Lorehold Campus, Sacred Peaks, Sunblessed Peak, Windscarred Crag. We have Cabaret Courtyard as one of our fetch lands, along with Escape Tunnel, Promising Veins, Volatile Fault, and Demolition Field will then destroy non-basic lands and help us dig out another land, with Command Tower rounding out the package here as, again, a staple for any commander deck. And that is Freedom Fighter for the Brawl format. So let's now play this deck finally. Let's actually get some games in, and let's see if Jet has what it takes to get some victories with his team. All right, so let's get those Freedom Fighters going. All right, let's lock it in, everybody.
It's time to
yeah, all right, okay. Whew, okay. I finally got that going there. Okay. So, okay, let's see. Can we get some victories here tonight? I don't know what was happening earlier, but I was having a lot of connection issues. So I'm glad right now. Looks like we should be good to go for the evening to make sure we can get this going. Oh, okay. So it looks like we're going to be playing against, oh boy, it's Firelord Azula. Don't worry. We will be building up, of course, our own version of Firelord Azula on a budget once the time comes. But until then, we're just going to play a couple more a couple more decks that I already have kind of in my mind already. But don't worry. Azula is going to be coming soon. All right, but until then, let's see what we got here. So we got Improvised Weaponry here, Artifact Enchantment Hate, Rip Apart. That might be good for later. Frontline Rush can help us make some tokens. Okay. Well, we don't have anything explosive just yet. We'll just take the time, of course, to just build up our mana and start doing our thing. All right, down to 24. Okay, opponent, what you got? So with Fire Lord Azula being Grixis, Grixis is not a very good color for ramping, but we'll see what they can do with it. Okay, ooh, Collector's Vault, that's good. So we'll play the Command Tower. Collector's Vaults. Alright. So we will slowly start building up our treasures. Oh, and I do see you over on Instagram there, although I'm sorry you can't make it into the actual main feed, but I do see you over there. So I see MTG Fiends is also watching us over on Instagram. Good evening, my fire friend. How are you doing this night? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay. Anyway here, so we're going to slowly just start building up stuff here. Dreams of Laguna. Alright, they surveil and draw a card. That's fine. Sneaky Toilet asking the question, what's your thoughts on the new Izzet deck, the Lessons deck, if you've seen it? I have. In fact, we actually, small spoiler, we kind of have our own variant that we managed to put together on a super tight budget for, let's see, hold on. Micro Goblin tokens. So we managed to put together at least a version, if you will, for Pioneer. And we're hopefully going to get that off the ground soon that y'all can check out coming up. But Lessons, I was actually surprised at how well Lessons are doing. That actually kind of makes me happy, but at the same time, it's also kind of interesting because Lessons kind of spiked a bit. So it's also kind of hilarious that for almost the entire year, Izzet has literally been the most powerful and best deck in Arena. It's actually kind of hilarious. Ooh, we have, okay, so throw a Gird for battle. So we have this Jet. But yeah, if you're an Izzet player, man, you have been eating good in 2025. Oh, man. Okay. Ooh, okay. We got Assembled Legion. Okay. I wanted to take out Zuko now, but this actually might be better for us. So no attacks yet. So with Assemble the Legion, now we can start putting out our soldiers, and Jet will start getting more value very, very quickly here. Oh, man. If we only had Impact Tremors, we'd be in so much, we'd be so set right now. Sneaky Toilet. It came out and I instantly crafted it. It took me a while to understand how to play it, but it's very fun. It is definitely a Spell Slinger paradise when that deck goes off. It's actually pretty fun. Okay, so Fire Lord Azula is coming in. Okay, opponent is swinging. Firebend. Alright, so no blocks yet, but we will see if we can try to get around this game plan here. Okay, if we can get a land, this actually will be perfect for us. I'm fine with any colors doing well as long as it's not black and blue. Honestly, no, that's annoying. Okay. Alright, so we make our first one. Okay, that's cool. So with this, we will first off rip apart. Hold on one second. Actually, maybe we can do this way. Hold on. We'll do it this way. Alright. Azula is actually the bigger threat, so she's got to go. And we will rip apart here. Okay, Azula's off the field. That's good. That's what we want. But yeah, going back to your to what you were mentioning, just after the banning of Vivi, for a brief moment, we actually almost ended up having a Dimir dominated standard. Because with Dimir, just that little gap before Avatar, it was looking like it was going to be Dimir for the end of the year as the best deck. But thanks to Avatar, now Izzet once again has taken its top spot. But yes, I get it. Counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. Not the most fun way to play, but I'm not going to lie, we've done that ourselves in previous deck techs. But it's definitely not my cup of tea. I can play that way, but it's again not my jam. Okay, so opponent is trying to hit us with Zuko here. So we cannot get rid of the Zuko just yet, but that's okay. Okay, so they exile our graveyard. I mean, don't really care. We're not a graveyard deck, so that doesn't really hurt us. All right. Okay, so this means now we should get 2 tokens. That's good. Another land. Okay, so here comes Jet. And this means Zuko can now go bye-bye. So even if Jet dies right here and now, we still get our value off of him. Nice. What say you, opponents?
That's rough, buddy.
I had to do that. I had to do that, everybody. Okay, we swing it with our tokens. While Jet may not have his freedom fighters here yet, we will hopefully dig into them soon. Or if nothing else, we can definitely start going wide with Assemble the Legion. Maybe this will actually be our key to victory here. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Okay, oh wow. Fell to Profane. They could have actually blown up Jet there, but, huh. What do they got? Swiftfoot Boots, okay. Okay, so the good news is we do have a Wear and Tear. So that actually might be helpful coming up soon. Okay, we're assembling the Legion. They're getting bigger. Okay, so let's play Pinnacle Monk. So we're not really getting much value off of this. I'm mostly using it just to help us keep going wide. That's what we want right now. Oh, jeez. All right. Opponents. I guess Jet goes back to our hand, and now we lose all of our tokens. Okay. Boo. Withering Torments. Okay. So our opponent here is slowly now trying to blow up our whole game plan. Not the worst, but we'll try to get around it. Alright, they do Dreams of Laguna again. We could blow up the boots later on. Okay. So for now... Okay, draw a card. We don't need the plane, so we just need to draw into actual action again. Okay, so call Surprise Witness. That might be helpful for later. But we'll do it this way. Mono White Jet. Coming on in. Okay, so with that, I want to make sure Azula also doesn't... Hold on, actually, wait. We will wait until they activate. Yep, there we go. Alright. Opponents. Okay. I'm sorry, opponent. That is not going to stand, so... Wear it down. Nice. Too bad, Azula. So she is vulnerable right now. Alright, Shadowboxing. The art of the tokens reminds me of Elf's armor in Lord of the Rings. Oh, okay. That's cool. Let's see. Hold on one second here. Dang it. I want to do stuff here, but we don't have enough to stop Azula here. So, let's see. Okay, this is now going to be a tricky turn, so let me do it this way. Collector's Vault. Draw a card. Okay. Throw away the mountain. Okay. We swing here. Dang, we fizzled. That's okay. Not a big deal. Opponents, do you block? Oh, they don't block. Okay. 3 hits, down to 5. So, the Volatile Faults doesn't really help us here that much, but that's okay. Okay, no big deal. Okay, opponents. Fire Lord Azula doing her thing. Does she dish out any damage? Any spot removal? Okay, so Bombard. Toots. Wow, 4 damage there. Alright. Okay. We lose both of our creatures. Fire Nation attacks. Okay. Well. Azula is annoying to deal with, but we will find a way around her. We're not gonna give up just yet. Okay, Haunted Ridge. Okay, so we have Long Shot. Long Shot's not bad. Okay. We can't really do anything else. So I guess at this point. Okay, casting everything. So at least we take out 1 token. It's not much, but okay. Dang. Azula's just so good. I actually would dare say she's probably a broken commander from this set. But we'll see soon enough. I haven't finished the deck just yet. It's kind of like in theory. Alright, so what do we got? Ugh. This is not good. Oh dear. Oh no. Wow, she had managed to out-token us. Embercleave. What? Oh, jeez. Okay, so... Okay, so that puts us at... Are we dead? Okay, so block here. And let's see, that's 10. 11 to... Okay, we have to lose Jet here. Okay. Down to 1. Jet dies. Put him back over here. Okay, so long shot. Okay, Impact Tremors is a little too late here. 3. Okay. Draw a card. Okay. Oh, wait. Can we still win? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we actually won. The pings! Ah, the sneaky win!
That's rough, buddy.
Yes! Yes! Wow! Out of nowhere! Out of nowhere! Ah, we got the victory on that one. We honestly had no business actually getting that win, but wow, what a draw. Oh my goodness. I honestly thought we were dead there, but man, long shot with the save there. He managed to help us burn out our opponent and the Impact Tremors off the top there. Oh man. Oh man, that was beautiful. That was sneaky. I'm sure our opponent was salty that they just managed to just not get through there. Okay. See, this is why I love Magic, everybody. Sometimes you never know. That top deck, wow. I got so lucky off of that one. Yes, beautiful top decking skills. Yeah, that was so good there. I was so happy about that. Moby Dixon, what you mean? That was perfectly planned. I guess you could say it was, so we'll just go with it. I meant to draw that. But see, this is also why I love that this is why I like that the card draw from that was really good. Okay, so breathing in and out, feeling good. Yes, the heart of the cards, we drew that off the deck there.
It's time to
Okay. But yeah, Moby Dixon, how are you doing this evening? Hope you're having a wonderful night wherever you're at. Okay, so we'll play our planes. Our opponent is playing Tatyova. So, okay, expect a lot of card draw and life gain. Joy. But we'll find a way around it, everybody. Don't worry. We will find a way. Okay, so with that, opponent, some stuff there. Cool. And with that, let's see, what do we do here? I guess we don't really have much of a choice, so, alright, continue on with the planes. Boros Signet. At least that can help us fix. So on the next turn or so, we can fix to get what we need. Okay. With that, alright. Island. Alright. Emergent Sequence. Okay, opponents. Ooh, Authority of the Consuls. That actually might be helpful for us at a certain point. So let's see. We can't destroy the forest. Oh, I really wish we could. That's okay, though. We'll do it this way. Hook Swords. So we got Jets, Key Piece there, and Authority of the Consuls. So if our opponent is going to start playing creatures, at least we could slow them down and get some life out of this. Scoot Swarm. Oh, that's going to go hilarious with Authority of the Consuls. Thanks, opponents. Did Azula give the extra red mana? That's a good question. That is a good question, by the way. Let's see. Okay, so... I think the right answer here is, even though it's not the fun one, the right answer here is we have to blow up the Scoot Swarm here and now. Although they get a lander token, which is annoying, it's not the worst. Down to 23. Okay. So... 4 mana... Tatyova comes in. Okay. We gain life off of it, though. So, at least we can sponge hits first a little bit while we slowly start softening up our opponent here. Okay, 27. Okay, Tale of Two Lovers. Alright. Make our tokens. We will swing here to get some more damage in. Down to 21. Okay, at least this can help us also dig out another mountain that we're going to need. Okay, opponent at 22. Primeval Titan. Oh boy. Ah! No, not Primeval Titan. Okay. Oh man, where's our Swords to Plowshare? We could definitely use that right now. Ugh, this is gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly quick. Okay. Alright, so, opponents. Tatyova going off. No swings. They do. We'll block with 1 token. Token trading. Okay, Sacred Peaks. So we can dig out now a mountain. Alright. I think for now, we need to... Hold on. Get the Alpine Meadow. Down. We will... Okay. I guess we'll have to wait for the earth bending, so no attacks yet. So, I think the best way I can do this is I might try to sacrifice Jet once we have the mana for it. And I think the game plan there is Jet comes in, and then we'll save the Boros Charm for once that part comes in. Okay, wow, 6 cards draw. Okay. Ugh. Okay, no, it's fine, everybody. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to see if we can try to make it work. Okay. So they put in a lot of power behind us, but... Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Traveler's Amulets. Okay. Opponent. Anything else? Okay, so more lands coming in. This is why I don't like Simic, everybody. I mean, kind of like what you mentioned earlier with Sneaky Toilet. You're not a fan of Dimir. I am not a fan of Simic. Don't get me wrong. We do play Simic decks. I mean, well, I kind of play everything. But seriously, though. Simic decks are my least favorite color combination. It just becomes Value Town, ramp, big stuff, over and over. And it just feels like it never ends. Alright, so stun counter, joy. Joy, stun counter. Alright. Get some more life. They draw more cards. Okay, so is there any option do we have? Or are we just completely dead? Because there's not really much we can do on the budget deck. We're 20. So in other words, we have literally like one turn to actually try to get a victory here. I don't know if we can, but we'll try. Whew. Okay. They literally have like all the lands they need. Come on. Simic, everybody. Every time. Which I guess leads me to a question I want to ask everybody. So, what is your favorite color combination, everybody? And what is your least favorite color combination? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys on that. So, okay. Well, Earthbend for 3. Not that it really helps us at this point. We're pretty much going to be dead even if we try to block. Okay, so Sacred Peak comes in. I mean, we can still hit something for 4, but that doesn't really take out anything except Tatyova. Okay, hold on. I mean, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 damage. Not much really else. I'm pretty much... I think I'm just going to give up on this one right here. So, yeah, there's just nothing we can really do about this. Shadow Boxing. Who passes the text for those face blue question mark? Buh? Wow, they actually got me with the Eloquentia. All right. Okay. We're cooked on this one, everybody. Dang. We'll take our L there. It's fine. It's okay. I was not going to outvalue Simic with Boros. There's just no way with our budget deck. But it's okay, everybody. Just breathe in, breathe out. It's okay. Not a big deal. Sneaky Toilet. I legit don't even have a favorite color. Maybe red, because I like playing aggro. Well, maybe that's why we get along. I like playing mono red aggro. Like, honestly, like me... Playing mono at any format that is out there, I will always try to build at least some kind of aggro deck with mono red. And to me, it's like me and mono red is kind of like, and I guess how do I put this? It's like an addict that's trying to get some stuff, some stuff. You know what I mean by that. Any case, let's try to see. Let's get our next one going. It's okay. Anything black? You like black? Okay, Shadow Boxing, liking mono black over here. That's cool. That's cool. I don't mind black on its own. Mono black actually has gotten pretty powerful over the years. They've definitely gotten quite a bit of extra stuff going on. Oh, I forgot to mention, we also have Imodane's Recruiter. This is also another cool card that actually goes pretty well with our deck. Call Me a Bamboo Grows, the #1 most annoying thing out there for alchemy cards. It's fine. Let's see. We'll play the Mountain. Pass. So, we have Gloria, so we can start building up our stuff here. That's good. Row Fellows. Okay. Ugh, I still can't believe they actually added this into Arena. This card is absolutely bananas, by the way. We actually are going to try to see if we can do a Christmas-themed deck regarding elves coming up soon. So stay tuned for that, everybody. Okay, but until then, still nothing else we can really do. So we'll just hold off for a bit. Okay, opponent is already playing. Wow, already? How'd they get that so quick? Oh, jeez. Okay, and we can't even... Okay, it's got ward also. Okay. Well, this is also the reason why Rofellows coming in has been a really silly card. So, wow. Okay. Even if I can't even emergency eject it. Dang. Wow. So, are we already dead? That's a shame. They have trample too? Okay, so that means the toxic gets through no matter what. Wow. So that means we are dead in 3 turns. Like, there's nothing else we can really do here except do this mostly for spite reasons. Not for any real value. Sneaky Toilet, your upgraded version. Please check out Restoration Magic and Moogle's Valor. Oh, well, we can definitely check into that. Oh, already give me the GG's, Sneaky Toilet? Yeah. It just feels like Tyrannus Rex. Yeah, we can't get around this. We're already at 8 counters, and even if we put this down now, there's just no way we can get around this. All right, fine. Fine, opponents. You take the win. I'll take the L. Ugh. Absolutely disgusting, by the way. But don't worry. We'll be doing something dirty on Christmas for Rofellows. Stay tuned for that. It's all good, though. It's all good, everybody. Let's see. Shadowbox and Dimir is my fave 2-color, mostly for the discard and counters, just to make my opponent cry. Oh, you're that dirty of a player, huh? You're the dirty Dimir player that likes to discard and counterspell everything? Sneaky person. I swear, though. Every time I play mono red, I always end up fighting either against Azorius control or a Dimir mid-range deck. It's always one of those dirty combinations. But hey, you do you. Not gonna lie, though. Even though I have my favorites, I always try to at least do... Every time I do videos, I try to provide a good balance. And it's also, I think, important that even if you're not a fan of certain colors, it's important to at least understand those colors. So this way, you can be a better Magic player, even if sometimes I don't play very well. Okay, Sneaky Toilet, turn 3 to 4 for that Dino was wild. Yeah, that was the fastest I've ever actually seen anybody play that card, and our opponent completely made us look dumb. It's fine, though. Not a huge deal. We just shake it off and we just try again. Not a big deal. It's okay. Okay, in the meantime here, opponents, they're playing Azuri, Stalker of Spheres. I haven't seen anybody play this. Phyrexian Elf Warrior. So it's Simic colors. They proliferate. So are they a toxic deck? I don't know. Okay, they're gonna station. Okay. They got the Wear and Tear again. So for now, let us Windcrag Siege. We will name Jeskai so we can start making tokens. So we want to start building up our goblins. Sneaky Toilet. I'd probably get arrested if it was ever me versus blue-black in a tabletop, because I'd legit punch the dude in the face. Blue-black control and black-white control. So in other words, what we're saying here is, everybody, so Sneaky Toilet, do not meet face-to-face with Shadowboxing. I don't think you two, are going to be able to pull off anything there without shenanigans going down, if you will. You guys are just wild, by the way. But I think for me, yeah, it would probably be Simic. I really hate Simic, by the way. Like, Simic here just starts going off and doing stupid stuff. So I think for me, no matter what color combination, I can play any color combination. But yeah, I just hate Simic. It's just not my jam. Not my jam at all. Okay, so with the Wear and Tear now, I think we're going to have to do this now because we can't afford to have that go off. I don't know what they put underneath her, but they're not getting it now. So, too bad, opponents.
That's rough, buddy.
All right. Swing. 2021. We go up to 26. So, little by little, maybe we'll get the Goblin plan going. Maybe. I would love to get some more mana for Imodane's Recruiter. That's actually pretty sweet. Okay, Teferi. Alright. Cool art, by the way. I do like the alt art version of this card. It's actually kind of sweet. I'm a big sucker for like the schematics kind of alt art. That's actually pretty sweet. I did love that from Brothers War. This is such a cool thing. And they actually have it for the avatar cards too, which also I love. Okay, so Alright, so how do we do this here? I think Gloria. Alright, so we swing. We will put on there. What does our opponent do? Do they use the spirits? Maybe? Ooh, they let Teferi die? Really now? Huh.
The battle.
Okay. I mean, hey, you do you, opponent. Although that spirit right there needs to get away quick, or else we are going to completely get Rothel stomped by a spirit. Defiler of Vigor. Oh, dear. Not a fan of this card either, but yeah, it goes in a lot of Simic decks because of how stupid it is with the counters. But it is a good card. We can't deny that. Okay, they almost got the Evendo ready to go, so I'm going to have to Volatile Fault that probably next turn. Okay. So it's online, but we can blow it up with Volatile Fault, so we don't have a choice here. We're going to have to do it. Oh, dang. Once we got the... Dang. I wanted to actually get out Jet now, but... No, we can't afford to let this go off. Alright. Sorry, opponents. Denied. Shadowboxing. I like how they brought back some effects for the avatar cards, like when you play them or use them in combat. Like, that was big when the game came out, but then they stopped it, sadly. Oh, like what effects specifically were you wanting to mention? Okay, opponent is gonna pull out their land. I wanted to play the Jet this turn, but blowing up that planet was more important. So let's see here. I guess there's something else we could really do for now. So, game plan now is we save the Boros Charm. If our opponent gets cheeky and swings, we can do some massive... We can probably hit him with a hard blow here. On the other hand, though, if Defiler Vigor goes off, those +1/+1 counters will be also a little scary. Okay, we'll see what we can do here, everybody. We will try. Come on, opponent. Looking at the clock also, I'm probably going to do one more budget version of the deck, and then we will play the upgraded version. So if you do like at least what this deck is trying to do in some way, shape, or form, don't worry. We'll definitely play a much more stronger variant in just a little bit. Okay, in the meantime here, opponents they got plenty of mana. I think that's probably one of the also downsides of playing a Boros deck. We always feel like we're behind on our resources. Okay, opponent tapping. Shadowboxing. When you go into combat and the card does the fire kick. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're trying to say there. Defiler Vigor. Okay. Ugh. Everything's getting bigger. But I mean, that is what it is, everybody. As a reminder, our deck may look terrible, but keep in mind, it is a budget deck. So I guess in the form of Commander, I think this is a bracket 1 deck. So this is mostly more for flavor, not necessarily a deck that is meant to, again, just win at the table. Okay. Opponent definitely has some power here. Do they swing? Simic Ascendancy. Wow, okay. Eep! No! That Defiler of Vigor alone will completely ruin us here. Okay, opponents. Do what you must. Okay, so they swing with the spirits. Alright, so in that case there, I guess we'll just block with one. I'm not sure why they didn't just swing with the Defiler. I'm surprised. So we're still at 28. Keep making tokens. Play the mountain. I guess we'll play the Recruiter. Some more tokens. And pass. So, how do we want to do this? So our opponent technically has a win con as well. That's going to be a while before they get to 20 counters, so I'm not worried about that. It's the Defiler Vigor and that Spirit that need to get destroyed ASAP. Okay, they got Flux Channeler now, so... okay, it's okay. Okay. Alright, they put a counter. Okay. Do they want to go for the Simic Ascendancy win? I mean, they could probably just go super ham right now, opponents. Okay, looks like they will now. So, with that, yeah. I guess we'll just block with a token here. And do we lose the token? Yeah, we'll just lose it. Go to 18. Okay, make another token. Okay, opponents. Oh, man. We wanted to see if we could try to get this going here, but I don't know if we can. Opponents? You let us do it. Okay, so we made another planes. So with that, I guess Jet comes in now. Okay, so when Jet comes in, that puts us at 6 damage. What do we take out? I guess it's gonna have to be a Flux Channeler. Not ideal. Oh, we have a Heroic Intervention. Alright, opponents. Ah! Jeez. You didn't have to do that, opponent. You already have kind of completely ransacked us here. But okay. Do we have any hope of winning this one? Or should I just kind of concede now and just kind of cut our losses? I think our opponent at this point is kind of just messing with us. Any case, so while our opponent here is trying to figure out how to completely make us look absolutely dumb, question for everybody. There are some preview cards that came out from not only the Marvel set earlier this week, but also, more importantly, the Lorwyn set. What cards did you see this week that got you hyped for the upcoming sets for 2026, everybody? Let me know. I would love to hear from you, whether, again, you're watching live or on the replay. Truth be told, I mean, and I'll be honest, the Marvel cards at least look a little bit better than the Spider-Man ones. The Spider-Man ones I didn't really care for at all, but it looks like the Marvel ones look a little bit better, although I don't think we're going to actually get those cards in Arena. They haven't officially made... Wait, did they make the announcement yet? I was pretty sure we're just going to get Omen past 2026. But then also, I really do like the new Lorwyn cards we're getting, but it looks like we're going to be completely going all in on hybrid mana. But some people might be thinking that's going to change a ruling when that set comes out. We'll see what happens coming up in about a month or so. See, nothing about the new cards? Well, there were a couple cards that came out today from the set. I think there is a new, was it rare or mythic elf that's actually pretty good. Although I think some people are kind of talking about the card in a different way. If you see the card, or those of you who have seen the card, if you know, you know. You all know what I'm talking about. Let me put it this way. The art invoked or activated some people's neurons, if you will, if you know that meme. That meme. Wait, why did I say meme? Why did I say that? Okay. You know what I'm saying. Any case. So, yeah, there's a really cool elf card that I actually I'm probably going to build a deck around soon, once that card comes out. Rambling aside, just look up the card. Once you look it up, you'll know what I'm getting at. It's kind of hard to explain. Sorry. Can't really explain it that well. Meanwhile, what is our opponent doing? Opponent, you got 4 cards in hand. You have all the mana in the world right now, and you have some big, beefy, stompy creatures. Just swing already. Or are you toying with us? I swear, if you're toying with us, opponent, that's not nice. Very disrespectful, by the way. Okay. Any case, I'm very confused. Opponent, where are you at? Did you just... What happened? I'm so confused. I mean, that's a win, but did our opponent disconnect? Did we just get a free win out of that? Wait, hold on. Someone's knocking on my door, everybody. Be right back for a second, everybody. Well, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, wait. Are we back? Okay. Phew. Testing, testing. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Look, I think somebody was at my door, but I didn't see anybody. Spooky. Okay. All right, so where are we at here? Okay, so looking at the clock. You know what? Let's jump into the upgraded deck. Let's do that. Where are we at here? Okay, nice. So let's jump into the upgraded deck and let's kind of continue on from there. So what if we take the time to upgrade into a much more stronger build? So with that, and there's actually a couple of cards in here I kind of missed that I'm going to try to add in right now. So I think there's a couple of cards here. Then in mono white, I want to try to squeeze in here. So for this, Caretaker's Talent, definitely got to get that in there. And then, I'll throw in Elspeth. So those were the key cards here. So Storm Slayer, definitely for the token shenanigans. And I think we probably could put an Archangel Elspeth as well. So those would be good for us. But that means now we got to kind of tweak the deck a smidge here. See if we can fit them all in here. So the question now is, what do we cut? Let's see. So, I don't know if we have enough. All right, here. So we're going to see if we can try to do some little upgrades here and there to try to make this a little stronger. So let's see. We need to cut 2 cards. I think we might have to actually cut some of the immediates. What do we want to cut? Sneaky Toilet. For your upgraded version, please check Restoration Magic and Moogle's... Oh, that's right. You mentioned that again. So let's see. Let's type in Moogle. There it is. Moogle's Valor. There we go. All right. Oh, that's right. I see. For each creature you control. That'll be nice. So we do have, of course, have in... I think we already added Restoration Magic. So, yeah, it is here. Okay, so that means we got to cut 3 cards to make room for all of this. What do we cut, though? So that's going to be a question here. So in terms of the upgrades, currently what we have for the deck is we want to try to address one of the other main issues with Boros, which is, again, Boros, of course, has trouble with ramping. So to do that, we're going to throw in Pearl and Ruby Medallions. This will help cheapen our cost. Keep the Arcane Signet. Most of it otherwise is just going to try to help us ensure that we can get the rest of our deck going. So maybe, I don't know. I think maybe we could probably start cutting some of the creature cards that don't really help us out here. Don't get me wrong. I want to keep as many of Jet's crew alive, but that really won't matter if we can't draw into them. So maybe we'll cut the Helping Hand and then Call a Surprise Witness. Probably cut that too. And then let's see here. What else we want to cut here that may not help us out here that much, or at least, get the Dawn's Truce and the Soul Warden. Let's see here. Okay, so just trying to see what we can do to make room for all of these things here. And I think my only other cut is probably going to be, it'll probably be the Goblin Surprise. So we'll still have at least 1 copy of this, but realistically, the upgrades here are mostly going to be focused on trying to have a much more consistent core of token generators and helping us again with spot removal. Because again, the budget deck didn't have room for good spot removal, so we're going to throw that into this version. So as far as the upgrades to the deck, now we're going to throw in cards like Guide of Souls. While we're not an energy deck, this can still help us out with energy production, which we can use occasionally for certain things. For other upgrades to the deck that are going to help us out here, we'll throw in Legion's Landing here. It makes a token for us, but then we can flip this once we attack with some creatures here to make some vampire creature tokens. We'll throw in now Paladin's class here, which makes our opponent get taxed anytime they cast spells on our turn. Gives all of our creatures an extra bit of pump once we level it up. Let's see here. Other upgrades that I want to give to the deck. Soul Warden. Yes, this actually is a common in Arena, but in paper, the card's actually like $5. So just FYI, in Arena, throw it in here. Why not? Don't worry about it. But of course, I put this technically in the quote-unquote upgrade pile. But guess again, it's expensive in paper, so be aware of that. Other upgrades, we're going to throw in Ragavan. So definitely got to throw in the Monkey Pirate because the treasures are going to be valuable. And sometimes stealing stuff is kind of what I've seen on Flavor of Jet do in this show. Let's be real about that. Other upgrades to the deck. We'll throw in a Johnny here. So another great way we can start developing a go-wide strategy here. So a Johnny Goes Ray. Kind of notice if you haven't seen already, most of these cards also come from the Boros Tokens deck that we've seen in both timeless / modern. But again, great cards, by the way. If you could flip it into his Planeswalker side, we can start building up Cat Warriors, which will be great for us to help us with our go-wide strategy. Not to mention, again, that damage you can do as we have a ton of red permanents on the field will help us, again, close out the game. So think of Ajani as kind of like also a finisher. Speaking of great cards here, we're going to have to throw an Ocelot right here, an amazing cat, and it helps us, again, just generate a ton of extra cat tokens. We'll throw in Dawn's Truce as a much more consistent way to protect our game state, and if we gift a card to our opponent, we can give all of our permanents hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. As far as upgrades to the spot removal, so we'll throw in Faded Absence here, we have Get Lost here, better options for us in terms of just making sure we can get everything going here. Other upgrades that'll help us out here, we'll throw in Flowering of the White Tree, because we do have quite a few different ways of pumping up our team here. We have a handful of creatures that are actually legendary, so this can give them a nice little extra bit of pump and award 1 protection cost. In terms of other upgrades to the deck that is going to help us out here, we have Roiling Vortex here. This is mostly to turn off life gain shenanigans from our opponents here, so we can just make sure we can keep control of the board. And also, it does punish free spells, so that's actually good for us. I've been debating if I actually wanted to get rid of Caught in the Crossfire here for maybe a stronger Wrath. I might look at that for a moment here. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll cut the UC Pair of Goblins and the... and the Caught in the Crossfire. Maybe we'll throw in actually a much more stronger Wrath. So for that, hold on one second here. What Wrath do we actually want? Look at the sorceries here for a second. So I think, or maybe we would throw in better protection spells. Maybe that might be better too. I don't know. Split Up is also another option that I wanted to look at for a Wrath. We could throw in, of course, Day of Judgment. Dusk technically might actually be pretty good for us because we're mostly low to the ground, at least until we start pumping up our team. Wrath of God, of course, is always an option for you guys. Maybe we'll just probably put in like Wrath of God or Day of Judgment. Either one of these. We'll throw in one as kind of like our emergency panic button. So we'll have that as well. And then if you want to, I mean, you could throw in Farewell as well if you want to reset the whole board state. Let's see what else we can throw in here that might help us out a bit. I think, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out right here what else we can do to consider some other things. So Sweltering Suns could be an option for you, Tail, if you want a low-level one, or a Slag Storm. Both of those are pretty good as well. And if you want to, I think for us right now, maybe we'll throw in Burn Down the House. 5 damage is pretty good, or you can use it to make some tokens. So that does kind of apply to our game plan here, so we'll throw that in. So I think we'll keep that. That sounds pretty nice. All right, but otherwise, most of the other upgrades, in terms of it, mostly just come into the rest of the board here. Oh, actually, before I finish up there, let's talk about a couple other key spot creatures that can help us just with our game plan here. So we have Flage, Titan of Nature's Fire's Fury. Wait, hold on one second. Wait, is that what I think it is? Hold on, everybody. All right, as always, say no to the spam, everybody. Say no to spam. Okay, now they got that out of the way. So other upgrades we're going to give to the deck here, we are going to throw in, of course, Archangel's Elspeth here, a consistent way to build up some tokens for us. As I just mentioned, we put in a better Wrath so that we can just help us to keep control of the board. We'll throw in Elspeth Stormslayer as well, so this also goes crazy with tokens here. That's probably our best option for us. Mughal's Valor, as recommended by Sneaky Toilet, but of course this is great because this is technically a protection spell and a way to just bolster our whole game plan, so that's pretty cool. As I just mentioned again, Burn Down a House is also another one of our Wrath/token producers here. And then going into the mana base here, this is the upgrades we're going to give it. So of course throw in all the rare duels you can now muster up. So of course we'll throw in Battlefield Forge, Clifftop Retreat, Elegant Parlor, Inspiring Vantage, Sacred Foundry, Sunbaked Canyon, Sunbillow Verge, Sundown Pass, and Arid Mesa as our real fetch land for the deck. For other fetches, we'll still keep in Cabaret Courtyard. That's okay for the deck. We'll upgrade with Fable Passage here and Prismatic Vista for better real fetches for us. We'll throw in Fountain Port because we have tons of not just tons of artifacts, we have tons of tokens we could take advantage of, so we'll make that great for us. Scavenger Grounds here can help us just exile with graveyards, so we just can deal with that. And then circling back over to the mono-colored upgrades for the land base here, so we have Quarry Mountains Monastery here, just to help us exile some cards and help us dig out some stuff. If we want to put some more oomph into our swings, Castle Embereth is great as well. If we need to speed up our game plan, we have Arena of Glory to do some extra damage at hasty speeds. A Gonjo Seed of the Empire, either a spot removal or just simply, again, just a land. Castle Ardenvale helps us make some tokens. We have Agada. I swear I can say this. I can swear to this. Adagia? Is that how I say it? someone correct me if I'm saying that incorrectly there. Windswept Bastion here. So again, it's a planet, but then we want this to then maybe make extra copies of our artifacts and enchantments, so then we can start doubling up on stuff and get hilarious. So we can use this, for example, for other things such as like an extra War Leader's Call or a Windcrag Siege, Outlaws Merriment. You get the idea. So this just helps us, again, just go super crazy bananas. And then finally, Abandoned Air Temple here is also amazing for the deck because this will start putting +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. And what the best thing about it is, this card could do it at instant speed. You actually don't have to have a worry about a timing restriction. So that's actually pretty sweet for that card. But those are now the upgrades to this version of the deck. If you like either version we're going to be playing tonight, do not worry, everybody. Links, of course, will be located in the details below at the end of this live stream. Speaking of which, if you do like any of the content that we do, you know what to do if you haven't already done so. Show some love. Please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content so you don't miss on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, and so much more. As always, we're more than happy to throw out there, of course, bonus content for you guys on the Patreon for those of you that do want to subscribe to it. Or again, paid subscribers can also check out exclusive videos that are usually don't end up being main channel content. So that'll be some bonus stuff I'll throw out there as time goes on. Either and all support that you provide for me, I do appreciate. But even if you don't want to spend any money, not a big deal. Just having you guys here is something I appreciate. But don't forget also, we do have a Discord if you want to join that as well. All links for everything will be located in the details below wherever you are watching the stream. So thanks again one more time to everybody that has been here with me tonight. Okay, now that I got my shilling out of the way, sorry for that. Gotta always do that at least once, at least every time we play. We'll throw out our mountain. Let's play Ragavan. Let's get the monkey going. Let me start stealing stuff, opponents. Sneaky Toilet. Question for you, Mr. Furno. What did you think of the Cloud Equipment deck? I understand. Oh, that's right. We played that Cloud Equipment deck. I understood one match doesn't give us a good view, though. I mean, I still liked it. You actually went off pretty well there in a way that I actually did like. So, props to you on that one. That was actually a pretty fun deck. I did like it. And kudos to you, actually, for using the Cloud that's... how would I say this? That Cloud's pretty good. He's not the strongest Cloud, but definitely he's a solid one. Okay, so we're going to make treasure. Oh, we just took their... We took one of their best removal spells there, Verosic's Attempt. Too bad, opponent. Nice. But yeah, the Cloud Equipment deck in Boros colors is pretty solid. Surprisingly, though, a lot of people are sleeping on that card. I realize now we actually never made a Cloud... we never actually made a Cloud Commander deck. Maybe we might do that in the future. Okay, but until then, let's keep swinging. There we go. Oh, we got the meter golem too. Okay, sorry, opponent. We gotta do this now. Elspeth, Stormslayer. Yeah, and it resolves. Oh, beautiful. Going wide. Gaining life. Wow, what a difference it makes with Jet now having major support. Opponent. Come on. Wow. That's annoying, but okay. Alright, it's fine, everybody. It's fine. Flage. Gain some life. Hit our opponent for 3. He dies, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. If you actually do want to be a player that does keep some of the stuff that, as I mentioned earlier, for revival, technically you can use it to bring back Flage over and over again, as kind of using it as a both spot removal and damage, if you actually want to go that route. Okay, so let's see here. Opponent. Vraska, okay. Does our opponent tick down? If they tick down, we got a sneaky. Oh, okay, opponent. Too bad. You're not getting that. Too bad.
That's rough, buddy.
All right. So with that, scavenger grounds. Let's put out. Let's see. How do we do this here? Okay. Vraska goes down here. Ragavan and a token swing. Nice. We're looking pretty good. So we steal another card. We'll play the Stormslayer. Not for real value, but it helps us out just a little bit there. Alright, gain some life still. And we will pass here. So, let's see. What What we got so far? We got 3 in the yard. Opponents. Verdant Catacombs. That's cute. Summon Leviathan. Wow, okay. Okay, opponent, I see what you're trying to do here. Alright, it's fine. They bounce back their own Styron Storm Tamer. But this is actually not horrible for us. We have a couple ways of getting around the Leviathan. So it's not like they're going to get any real value. So with that, let us play Requisition Raid. We'll destroy the enchantment. 8-2. Opponents, do you sacrifice Verdant Catacombs? Do you have an answer? And then Monkey coming back for more shenanigans. Man, Ragavan still does good stuff here. Man, one day I hope to get a copy of this. Although I'm pretty sure even if I put this card into my Monkey deck, no one's going to want to play against me. I have actually, well, not necessarily a Monkey deck, but I do have an idea with one because I technically did get the what is it? It's the Gruul Monkey they added from the Jumpstart pack from 2022. I want to see if I can actually put together a deck with that. Ooh, opponents. All right. Okay, I see your game here. Battlefield Forge. So with that, some tokens, gain some life. And then Cathartic Pyre, but we can't do anything yet. No attacks yet. Okay, opponents. Tapping down everything we got. Annoying, but that's not the worst. Muldrotha. Alright, Muldrotha is now here for value. Does our opponents manage to find a way to get back into this fight? Okay. Opponent swings. Okay, is that all? Okay. Medical Monk. Okay, we can discard a card. We draw a card. Throw away a Cathartic Pyre. Draw a card there. Okay, Fountain Port. Well, not ideal, but I guess that helps us out a bit here. And then Pinnacle Monk. Nice. So this actually helps us out here for one major reason. We can now destroy that Cure Beast of Sea God. We will... Or actually, maybe... Now, we'll get her for the Requisition Raid. We gotta do it this way. Okay, opponents. And then destroy the enchantment. Nice. Okay, so that doesn't actually work against it. So nice, we got that out of the way. Phew. Okay, so they did not take anything we had. That's good. Aeromorphic Expanse. But we're still not out of the woods yet. So our opponent does have access to their stupid graveyard no matter what we do here. So even if we destroy... Now, Rivers Rebuke... Ah! Oh my god! Oh! God, I hate Rivers Rebuke so much. Such a demoralizing card. Alright. Well, alright, our opponents. We try to see if we can stop it here, but now they're really just going to try to pick at us here. So. Alright, so let's see. Windcrack Siege. We will play a Johnny's Welcome. We're going to try this again. Counting of Omashu. Make some tokens. Gain life. We're not giving up, opponents. Don't think we're going to give up just yet. But having Muldrotha on the field when we don't have an answer for it is going to be very, very tough. Because now they'll just keep looping everything. Alright. Do we quit here? Dang, we were so close to just stabilizing and taking down our opponent here, but man, they managed to find all... Ow. Ah! I ain't playing with no shenanigans. Okay, you know what? No. We're not dealing with it, opponents. We're not going to deal with that. I hate alchemy cards. I will not dignify this shenanigans with what you're doing. No. I have my dignity. Okay. moving on from that, let's go ahead. Let's shake this off, everybody. Let's get back into this. Let's refocus. We're going to try again here. Let's lock it in.
It's time to
Yeah. All right. Okay. Phew. All right, let's do this. Okay. Oh, nice. We got Ragavan again in hand. Oh, I love that monkey. Now, even as someone that doesn't like to get their stuff stolen here, not going to lie, sometimes it is a little on the dirty side to do it yourself. All right, so playing Demir. Okay, they got Overwhelmed Apprentice. So they mill 2 cards from us. Oh, there goes our Impact Tremors. Dang. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. So with that, Arid Mesa. That might be helpful for later on. For now, Skrelv's high. No attacks. Wow. Blocked by an Overwhelmed Apprentice? Not what I usually expect. Okay. Start making our tokens. We will play Volatile Fault. And we will play... Destroy that. No attacks. Wait, why did I blow up the Overwhelmed? I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that, everybody. I was not paying attention. Okay, they mill us for 4. We have to discard a card, so... Dang, it's going to be the Arid Mesa. Not what I wanted to lose, but... Okay. Another token. Sunbake Canyon. So with that... I think we'll play Gloria. Gloria! Okay. Pumping up Ragavan here. Do they block? Oh, they do. Okay. So be it. They lose their commander for a bit, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. We can do this. We can totally do this, everybody. Jace. Okay. Jace cannot do its discard and draw shenanigans, so we have to find a way to get around him now. Have ready card yard. And then we will get out a Plains. Pipsqueak coming in. Pumps up one of our tokens. Alright. That Restless Reef also cannot be allowed to stand. Even though Pipsqueak cannot attack, he can block, so at least he's a decent blocker for the time being. Okay, we get to exile a card. Oh, dang. No, it was the Pearl Medallion. Wow. No good luck from us there. Okay. They flip. Dang, they flip Jace too. Wow. Okay, well, still not quite where we... Okay, that blew us all up. Okay. Okay. It's fine. We'll still keep making mites. So I guess that's going to be a thing for now. Okay, make a token. Hit Jace here. Down to 4.
being uncoordinated.
Okay. So they're going to try to mill us out here. That's their biggest focus here. Minus the might. Shieldred. Okay. So we lose our Freedom Fighter. Boo. Okay. Make another might. Boros Charm. Okay. Okay, we're going to have to do this here now. So... Okay. I don't have any faith this is going to work, but... Okay. Okay. Dang it. Wow, this puts us in a really awkward spot. We've been trying our hardest here to try to see if we can get rid of either Shieldred or Jace, and both of them we just failed to have enough damage. Also, not to mention Jace's ability is beyond annoying. So, how do we get out of this? Is there a way out of this? The Boros Charm also would have been nice, but it doesn't hit creatures. It only hits players or planeswalkers, which would have been perfect if we could just do that to get rid of him, but we didn't. Okay. Jet dies. No, Jets! But he does leave behind some tokens. Okay. Boogle's Valor's not horrible for us.
I could use bigger muscles right now.
Okay, and then 4 damage. Jace is gone. Phew. Okay,
I overanalyzed
that's what we wanted.
the situation.
So at least now he's out. Oh, we lose the Moogle Valor from that. Okay. But we had to get rid of Jace because otherwise he was just going to cause problems for us. Okay. Mindbreaker. So they're going to mill a ton of stuff. But maybe... Okay, so that hits and that flips. Okay. Ugh. There goes half our library. Joy. We actually didn't get the... We didn't get Flage out of that whole mill? He's on the bottom half of our deck? Dang. Talk about bad luck here. Okay, well, it's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. We're still not giving up. I know our deck can do stuff. It can do stuff. Sort of, maybe. Okay, so... Lazotep Convert. Okay. What do they pick? Pick Overlord. Okay. Okay, they do their shenanigans. Put the milling. Okay. Card is exiled. Another token. Okay. Alright, so... Imodane's Recruiter. Hit ourselves for 1. We'll make some tokens. I guess we'll do this now. There's no point in holding back the swing, so we might as well just do the damage. Put out there more poison tokens. More poison counters. Round 3. But at least this means our mites now actually can get life. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay, I'm going to concede that. There was no way we're going to survive that at all. Wow. We're striking out with Jet. He's not doing as well as I was hoping he would, but... Okay, well, I mean, opponents do come to play. They play to win. We're just here to have fun, but apparently no fun is allowed here at the unranked lobby. Do you all think, and I guess this leads me to a question I was going to ask everyone, do you think Brawl should get a ranked lobby to make it kind of like a pseudo CEDH in Arena? Would you like to see a ranked Brawl library? Maybe that will be where everyone's going to get dumped once they get all sweaty. What do you think? Would you like that? Let me know in the comments, everybody. I would love to hear from you. Okay, so until then, we'll play Soul Warden. So we're going to start trying to bolster up our life as much as we can. Okay, lost GT. That's cute. Get a Plains. Authority of the Consoles. So the whole game plan now can help us sponge hits. We're going to get a lot of life once we get everything going. Okay, Rebel Girl Maverick. Get some life. Okay. Not a threat for us to worry about yet. Maybe in the future, though. Okay, so in the meantime... Okay, so we have Arena Glory. Maverick goes bye-bye. So GT doesn't do its shenanigans. At least for now. Down to 23. Okay, so... Bristly Bill coming in. Gain some life off of that. Okay. Okay, they put another counter on it. That's fine. Okay, Day of Judgment might have to be what we're going to need here. So... Down to 22. Okay. Can we get out of this? Is there a way out of this? We're still trying to find a way to make this work. Scrap Shooter. Okay. And they throw away our Authority of the Consoles by blowing it up. But they gift us a card. Okay, so Outlaw's Merrymon's not horrible. This actually might be beneficial for us here. So I think I have an idea of how we can get around this. Okay. Game plan here Down to 26. We have plenty of life to work with. That's not the hard part. Got the charge counters coming. We will discard our frontline rush here. We're gonna need something else instead. Discard, draw. Okay, rolling vortex. Well, it's not horrible. So here's how we're gonna do this. We first off need to get rid of these threats before they become too out of control. Okay, Day of Judgment. So nothing the GTA can do will help it. Okay, so that means our opponent now has to put back the Bristly Bill. Tapped. Mystic Peak. Okay. Bristly Bill coming back. Okay. Counter. GTA gets added. Joy. Okay. Alright. No swings yet from our opponent because they can't do anything just yet, but don't worry. I have a feeling we can get there. We can get there. We can totally get there. Still not too late. Okay. Opponent. Anything else? Opponent? Hello? Opponents? Opponents? You there? Come on, opponents. Sneaky Toilet. Do you think there's better commanders for equipment? I only chose Cloud because he's got indestructible, which I like in a commander. That's a good question. I've been contemplating trying to put together for one of my ultra budget decks in the future another super cheap something or other for boros equipment. There are some options. But that'll be something, again, like I'm going to have to run through later on. Maybe I can ask that also on the Discord. We'll have to ask everyone there, like, what they would see. But I think Cloud, while expensive, doesn't go well because of his natural ability to be indestructible. So good question on that one. Fire Blake. Late night streaming? I am, and good evening, my fire friend. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're having a wonderful night wherever you're at. But yeah, you're in the middle of us trying to see if we can make Jet and his Freedom Fighters do some shenanigans here. I don't know where our opponent's at right now, but maybe they'll come back, or maybe they lost connection too. I have no idea. But yeah, that's a good question. Maybe we can ask everybody here, anybody that wants to, that may chime in. Feel free to. Sneaky Toilet asking, of course, is there a better commander for equipment? What do y'all think? Oh, our opponent is actually maybe not there. Okay, well, maybe we can take advantage of that. Okay, Outlaws Merriment. Okay. Did our opponent just disappear on us? I guess so. Opponents? No. Opponents? Sneaky Toilet also double dipping here, I see. You sly dog. Appreciate that, though. Dog meat? Oh. Oh, that's right. Like, if you play paper, dog meat's pretty good. If you like to still stick to boros, but maybe you want to splash in green. Yeah, dog meat's actually pretty good. I don't have that precon, though. Man, I feel like I should have picked that up when I had the chance. Unless if I can still buy it maybe on Amazon. Okay. Once again, we got, I feel like, another free win because opponent just AFK'd. He just pieced out. Okay, well, I mean, hey. I guess I get my win some way, somehow. Whatever. Okay, well, any case, still getting our wins in there when we can. We'll keep playing for a little bit longer, everybody. And then FYI, because of my goofy schedule this week, the good news, of course, that means tomorrow night is when we're going to plan our next stream. I know it's been a little wonky because usually I always try to do Wednesdays and Fridays. The next couple weeks may be a little bit difficult. I'm sorry, maybe difficult for me to try to do live streams on Wednesdays. So apologize for that. So most likely for the next couple weeks throughout the holiday season, we're probably going to do Friday and Saturday nights as our live streams. At least that's what we're looking at for the near future. But I will let everybody else know if anything else changes. So stick tuned for that. But yeah, if you're looking for just straight up boros, I guess I would have to think about that. I think, what is it? Who's the go-to right now? In paper, it's Wyleth. I don't know if he's in Arena. I don't think so. But I guess Cloud is also a popular one. If you want to play a Naya one, then yeah, Dogmeat's pretty good too. Personally, for me, I go Mardu. So for me, Mardu for that would be, what is it? Is it Sir Gwyn for Ashvale? I like that one, by the way. Sir Gwyn is my go-to. In fact, I actually have a Knights deck that I have that's a Knights/equipment deck. I love it, by the way. It is a mix of some of my favorite Knights and some of the Final Fantasy cards. It's actually pretty cool. Stinky Toilet also asking, what's been your favorite budget deck to both create and play? Ooh, that's a good question. I had to think about that one for a second because there are some really good things out there that I love. We're going to play Ocelot Pride. It's a little risky, but if we can start making some tokens, this actually will go nuts. Okay. Favorite budget deck? That's a tough one. I have to come up with something here. But while I do, okay, so opponents. Fateful Absence. That can't survive. We also want to start getting our cat tokens, so meow meow. Here come the cat tokens. Okay. We're close to getting to Elspeth, which actually will be absolutely hilarious if we can have it to go off. And then with that, Jet can then mop up whatever boot they got. Okay, beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yes, War Leader's Call. Okay. Okay, got the pump there. Down to 21, down to 19. And watch the token come in while we ping away. Oh man, this is going to go bananas if we can get Elspeth to go off here. And then there's Narfi, the one from March of the Machines. Oh, that's right, Narfi also. Man, there's a lot of good commanders we've gotten over the years. Like, seriously. There's just been a ridiculous amount of stuff that we can use. Oh, they got the Goshen tie. We will also, of course, build our Shrines deck at some point, everybody. We have to do that at some point. Until then, okay. Prismatic Vista. Okay, so in the meantime here, let us get this plan off, because this is going to be hilarious here. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to start going nuts here. Watch. So the City's Blessing is now active, so that's actually beautiful for us. We can get everything going here. Ooh, instant speed and light tutor? Oh, dang. What are they trying to grab? They have to grab something quick. But yeah, let's see. We'll just swing with the Ocelot Pride. We just want to activate that. I love this. Ping, 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 ping. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Okay, so opponent, you have one turn to stop our cat army. Leyline Life. Wow. Okay, so they turn off War Leader's Call. Okay, so big deal, opponent. We still have a lot of cats. You have to blow up all the cats if you still want to beat us. Do you have that answer? Boss of D-Dwelling. That doesn't do it. There's no way they're going to swing right now. Okay, so sure, you can blink opponents. Even if they blow up with maybe like, what is it? Is it the... Okay. That's fine. We don't mind that shrine. I think we got the win here. Ocelot Pride, even in Brawl, is still a gnarly card to deal with. So go ahead, opponent. Yeah, get all the lands. Honestly, we don't even care. So you know what? Just out of spite because I want to. War Leader's Call returns. And we can also go with this. So station, because I can. Aw, opponent! I wanted to just do that. Okay, we still got the win, everybody, no matter what. I know we didn't have to do that, but I really wanted to. All right, we'll take that. That's actually a legit win tonight, everybody. That was a good one. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, my favorite budget deck? So, real quick, Sneaky Toilet, are you just asking my favorite budget deck in 60 card? Are you talking 100 card like Commander/Brawl, or just any budget deck we put together? If I was to answer that, I think it's there's a Rakdos Sacrifice deck that I put together a while ago. It's actually kind of a cute one. So I put together, and it's actually up on the channel. So I put together a Basically deck that I call Basically Blood. I actually do like the deck, even though it is very low powered and very jank. it does utilize the set mechanic of blood tokens to actually get a lot of good value out of it. So it's using vampires and blood tokens to make some really cute little sacrifices here and there. I mostly have it as an actual kitchen table deck, but it's actually a good little deck to teach players some fun stuff. As far as my favorite budget deck that I put together that's 100 card, that actually is a good question there. I had to look at, again, that. I had to think about that for a moment there. And then Fire Blake saying, and isn't there a Boros dude from Kaldheim? That, oh yes, I think that was the one I was mentioning earlier. It's what's it called? Oh yeah, I think you're talking about Wylith. So that was the I think, didn't they? Oh wait, no, that was Zendikar. Wait, that was Zendikar. I'm mixing them up. But yeah, I think there was one from Kaldheim. I have to think about that for a second though. Okay, Clifftop Retreat. So nothing yet. But we have the Windcrag Siege, so that's going to be coming soon. Sneaky Toilet, legit any, your personal favorite of all time. But yeah, I like there is a couple of budget Rakdos sacrifice decks that actually go really well, all things considered. Oh, look at, speaking of equipment, there we go. There's Cloud himself. Not surprised. Okay, so Prismatic Vista. I'll show you guys what I can when I have a moment here. Get the planes. We'll play, let's see, how do I want to do this here? I think we'll play the Windcrag Siege first. Start building tokens. But yeah, so there's a couple of budget decks I put together here on the channel that I absolutely love. So mostly they've been Rakdos decks, but surprisingly Rakdos is pretty good on a budget. You can get a lot of good value with cards such as you know, Cat Oven Shenanigans. What is it? Mayhem Devil, a solid card there. Opponents. Why would you do that? Just trying to ruin my fun. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, Hand of Vecna, okay. Alright, so we got the Ocelot Pride still, so that's actually not too shabby. We'll play, let's see, how do we do this? I think actually Ocelot Pride first. And pass. So, we have a couple options here. As far as my favorites, let's see, because I also have a couple of favorite budget decks that I put together for like an actual paper slash oh, hold on. Cloud here. Okay, they make 2 treasure tokens. They pay 1. Ugh. I didn't think they were all actually ready to swing with Cloud yet. Wow. Okay. Okay, they draw a card. They make some treasures. Cloud's actually scary when he goes off. Yikes. Okay. They got the command tower. All right. Opponent, do you have anything else? Come on, opponent. Is that it? Okay, so I don't know how we're going to try to get around this, but we're going to try. I mean, we have a Stroke of Midnight, so I think that's going to be our best bet here. So, 21. Make our token. Okay. So our hope to win now, or at least hope to survive, is just blocking the cats. So the Great Axe. If they tap out, then we could just blow up Cloud and just buy ourselves the time we're going to need. Okay, Rawan, okay. Sarah. Okay. Is that it, opponents? Is there anything else? Okay, so with that, Stroke of Midnight. Cloud goes bye-bye. Phew! That was a little too close there. Okay, but that's okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 8. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so we actually have Elspeth here, so that's actually good for us. How do we do this here? I guess we'll just do this now. Counters.
Warriors, rise!
Swing. Down to 19. There we go. We made our cats. Okay, so now we have a shot of surviving at least here. Okay. Okay, okay. Opponents! Why Why would you do that? Boo! Very, very annoying. But that's okay. It's okay. We still have a way of getting to our victory here. So with that, we will still make our tokens. And we will ping away our opponents. We're not dead yet. We're still going to fight this out. We actually also can use a burn down the house, and we have Moogle's Valor. So there are options we have. Okay, here comes Cloud. Oh boy. Cloud swinging. As long as he doesn't have trample, I think we can still survive, right? Okay. But if he swings, that means we can blow him up. Okay, so opponent does swing. Okay, they make their treasures. Block here, okay. Okay. Cloud goes bye-bye there.
That's rough, buddy.
I mean, sure, opponent, yeah, you can recast Cloud later on. That's going to be a lot you have to pay for. Okay. So. I think we might be okay for now. I mean, opponent got really cheeky there. They probably thought they were going to draw into what they wanted, but they did not. Beatrix. Is this going to be a problem for us here? Let's see. We need still a way to get around this. Okay. Oh, we got the Source of Plowshare. Okay, so I think we'll be good here. I think we'll be good. So with that, burn down the house. Oh, and there you go. So that was it, everybody. Our opponent has had enough there. Yes, of course, we'll take that win. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. So I'm looking at the clock right now, everybody, and Mrs. Inferno probably is going to be coming home soon. So that means we're gonna have to, of course, spend a little quality time with her. You know what I mean by that. Any case, innuendos aside, we're going to see if we can get in maybe one more game. We'll squeeze in one more, win or lose. And then we'll finish up, of course, our live stream with a nice little quick wrap up of the deck, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then we'll, of course, cover what is to come for the future, for future videos. We'll even kind of already have set to go our next budget live stream deck that we're coming up with. Oh, geez, we're playing against Vivi. Okay. Well, go for broke on Vivi. Let's try. Let's try. Okay, focus. Focus. Locking in.
It's time to
Yeah, all right, okay. Okay. So we actually have the Source of Plowshare, so that may be what saves our bacon here. Okay, we've got the Outlaw's Merriment. That's cute. First off, we will play Legion's Landing, make our tokens. Okay. Sneaky Toilet asking, how do you think WotC could ever increase the average game turn duration? It goes down because of the power creep, which is inevitable. I think this is something that also is intrinsic to the game. It's just something that is inevitable, and mostly just because at this point, I mentioned it before, the only way Standard is going to be stable again is we have to power down Standard. And of course that means all the cards that go through Standard. The only issue is nobody wants to see Standard get powered down, because I remember playing through a time when Standard was powered down and no one was happy. No, seriously, nobody was actually happy with that. It was kind of a tricky time. So this was during the time of Ixalan. So when Ixalan came out, this was actually a pretty, people would say, is boring time of Magic. Because there really wasn't anything that was like blowing up. Not like at what we have now. So yeah, the power creep kind of just makes it very, very hard to kind of try to fix things, if you will. I mentioned this before when I made that video about a month and some ago before VV got banned, about what they can do to not only fix Standard by doing the bannings, but also how they can try to make things better overall. So it's been kind of tough. So here comes VV. All right. So this is now our shot here. We got to do this now. No VV. Got to keep that off the field as much as possible. Okay, so that buys us the time we need. We'll play the Fountain Port. And well, can't really do much of anything else, so we'll just keep swinging with our one cute little vampire token. God, I wish we could flip this quick. Okay, opponent, do you use the clue token? Or do you have something else to play? So we can't play VV yet. Brawl. Okay. Do we care about that? We'll find out here. Okay, Founding of a Mashu. Alright. So, I think we'll play the Outlaw's Merriment now while we can. So our opponent here has First Strike. So that means they'll start doubling up all their spells. Okay. We'll see. Can we get around this? Is there a way around this? I guess we'll find out soon. Okay. If they play Vivi on this turn and they tap out, we can save Rip Apart to take out Vivi and just keep that off the field. Keep him down as much as possible. We'll save the Source of Plowshare in a pinch. Okay, here comes Breaches. Okay, opponent is definitely all in on Is It Shenanigans here. No surprise. No value, but that's good. Okay, so we got Ragavan. That's cute, by the way. But okay, let's see here. Founding of Omashu. Make our tokens. Okay. Make our monkey. No attacks, though. So little by little, we are going wide. Just a little bit. Okay. Spire Bluff Canal. Tapped. Okay. That does buy us another turn without Vivi on the field. Excuse me. Do they take out the monkey? You have to have a bunch of spells in hand, opponent. 5 cards in hand. Some of those have to be spells. Something. Okay, so when they cast your second spell, they can sacrifice an artifact. And that means... Okay, well that actually doesn't help with the clue token because it's free. Okay, ooh, One Ring. Okay. Swing opponents? They do not. But this helps us out a bit here, so this means that... There you go. We will... Discard a card. Okay, we got the Ocelot Pride. That's actually good. So with that... Ocelot Pride. Rip Apart. Nice. There we go. Okay, so... Big swing here. Save Ragavan, though. We flip. There we go. Even if they block here, that's not the biggest thing we're caring about. All we just want to do is just... Okay. Oh, that actually... Do it, opponent. Yes. The liking does trigger. So that means Ocelot Pride actually also goes off. Thank you, opponent. Appreciate that. Yes. We managed to keep the field clear. Okay. We're looking pretty good here. Oh, we're so close. I think we can actually get a victory here. Come on, opponent. Tap out. Tap out, tap out, tap out. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. Oh, we can so do this. Okay. So, let's see. 5 mana. They, in theory, if they have a 6, they could bring in Vivi and protect Vivi. But that does mean that they are using up a spell to do that. Okay. Oh, they are doing it. Okay. I'm sorry, opponents. Vivi's got to go.
That's rough, buddy.
And there you go, everybody. Our opponent could not get Vivi on the floor. Denied. Yes. That was a nice way to do it. Oh, man. So satisfying to get rid of a Vivi. No, 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 opponent. Not tonight. Okay. Well, that is it, everybody. So that was our good one there. Oh, we got an achievement for that. That's cute. Okay. But that was our final one for tonight, everybody. I know we're going to have to cut ourselves a little bit short by a few minutes, but I hope you guys don't mind. So, again, oh, Mrs. Inferno's calling. Okay. So that means we're pretty much going to have to wrap it up here for sure. So, let's actually kind of get this going here real quick. So, real quick, Freedom Fighters, utilizing Jet from Avatar. What do you think, everybody? How do you feel about the deck? Do you like the deck? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? But to be perfectly honest... This is one of those times, and I'm going to have to be very honest. I wanted to like the budget deck, but it's just not working. I think maybe I may have either built it wrong, or maybe we should focus a little bit more on the control package and really go all in on building tokens and going wide. We didn't get a chance to do too much with his actual team, which is kind of a shame. I was hoping we would actually cast more of his actual teammates. The only one that got to see any shine was Longshot for that one game where we got to steal a win. So I'll take that. if nothing else, at least we got long shot to do something. So aside from that, overall, the deck is, again, not bad. It's just it didn't get a chance to shine, at least tonight. Still, if you really prefer playing Jet, you really probably want to go for the upgraded deck. And this is one of the few times I will say it. Maybe the budget deck just wasn't going to work out. Having said that, of course, the upgraded version of Freedom Fighters here definitely shine tonight. We definitely got to do a lot of crazy stuff where we exploded with Elspeth here. If you can afford it, definitely throw it in there. Adding in, of course, other cards such as Ocelot Pride, amazing, of course. Those cards definitely really made the deck go off here. Wow. That, and of course, we got to see some also action with War Leader's Call. That was awesome as well. So you got to see at least a couple of key cards that you want for the deck. Outlaws Merriment actually did pretty well too. These cards will definitely help you really kind of make the deck go wide. So don't think of it as like, this is a bad deck. I think the better way I would probably say this is build yourself going wide. Think of Jet as kind of like your really big spot removal for when you need him to come down and just smash in something out of the way, clearing it, so that way all of your little tokens can squeeze in damage. But at least that's probably the way I would do it. Overall, though, Jet's not a bad card, but definitely consider him as more for like a bracket 1, maybe bracket 2 deck if you want to play something a little bit more casual with your friends. It's a fun card when you can actually get it on the field, but he's expensive, so be aware of that overall. With that, again, one more time, if you do like either deck, the links will be located in the details of this video a little bit later on this evening. Now, before we go, since you all stuck around this far into the stream, thanks again for hanging in there, my true fire friends. Here's a little sneak peek as to what's to come over the next couple days. So tomorrow night, we're going to be rocking Toph, literally. Toph Rocks is going to be our Naya deck for budget and, of course, an upgraded version. So Toph here with Earthbending Shenanigans. I actually look forward to this deck. It's going to be a fun one. See, you totally did kind of get a little, I know you got a little bit of a sneak peek of this, so you definitely know what's going to be coming. We'll, of course, go over this tomorrow night. As far as Monday is hoping when I'm going to get this out on time, Grand's Lessons. So this is going to be a Lessons deck that's in mono blue, but it's actually designed for Pioneer. There's some unique cards we can take advantage of in Pioneer that aren't in Standard. So something to keep in mind once we get that going here. Aside from that, going forward for the remainder of the week, I haven't had a chance to finish them yet. We're still building some other decks here. We still want to try to put together, I'm going to try to see if I can do an Orzhov Taxes deck utilizing Mai. She actually is a pretty cool card overall if we can get her going there. I'm still trying to play around with an Earthbending Infinite deck for Standard, but I might actually move it to Pioneer. We'll kind of try to figure that out as time goes on. As far as future decks that I want to do, we have, again, a Basically deck, so this is going to be one of the future ones going into 2026. This will be one of our, going back to our series of Basically decks. I haven't finished the dual colors for Ultra Budget Brawl / Commander decks, so we'll get back into that in 2026. I'm waiting until Lorwyn comes out so we can get on that. We also have a fairy deck that also I'm going to wait until Lorwyn comes out. Maybe we can get a couple of sweet little budget upgrades, if you will, for that. So stick around for that. That's going to be coming up soon. Beyond that, we'll still, of course, build a couple of decks focused on the remaining Avatar key players out there. So we'll do a Shrines deck. We will do an Azula deck. We'll try to get those off. And, of course, for the holiday season, we'll try to get an Elf deck, if you will, going, of course, for Christmas time. As far as our final videos of the year, after we get out Grand's Lessons, the last 2 videos were going to be a nice little highlight of what we played in 2025, some of the best matches we've had. And of course, we'll do one video kind of overlooking what is to come in 2026. So technically, I guess Grand will be our last deck tech on YouTube for 2025 before we go into 2026. But don't worry, we have plenty more to talk about. And we have so many sets coming out in 2026. I don't know how I'm going to keep track of all these, but I'm going to do as much as I can to put out there as many budget decks for you, for all of you that do like watching the content. But we'll go over that when the time comes. Until then, I have to get going for tonight, everybody. But final, again, shout out to all of you who were with me tonight. So final shout out, as I mentioned earlier, to everybody. So from the over here on the stream. So Shadow Boxing, thanks again for popping in. Zian Amalo, Sneaky Toilet as always. Buggy Wuggy, I know we didn't really play anything you may have seen, but still appreciate you popping in. MTG Hillbilly, as always, appreciate you dropping in for a little bit there, so thank you for that. Bordy Man, also a pleasure for you. Fire Blake, thanks again for popping in there and also giving some great suggestions for equipment commanders. Appreciate all of you. And also I see MTG Fiends, also shout out to you. I see you on there, also on Instagram there, so thank you again for that. If I don't see your name specifically on the chat, my apologies, but I still appreciate you still popping in and watching me just the same, everybody. Again, the replays are going to go up across every single place I am streaming right now, so X, Instagram, Twitch and YouTube. If you miss one of them, the main channels, of course, are going to be Twitch and YouTube, so you can catch all of my past live streams there. But otherwise, okay, yeah. Oh, Mrs. Inferno is calling. Oops, I got to attend to her. Okay, so I'm going to go now, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Take care, and we will be doing this again tomorrow night, same time. But as always, before I go for the evening, I want to say one more important thing for all of you. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again tomorrow night, everybody, same time. Later.